Sunday, September 7th. In Russia, the units of Walter Model of Army Group South perform an encircling operation north of Kiev and reach River Siem, the main tributary of the Desna, in the Dnieper Basin, and capture Chernigov. Marshal Semyon Budyeni, commanding the southeastern front along with Nikita Khrushchev, anticipating the pincer strategy of the Germans, requests Stalin to authorize them to withdraw the troops of Mikhail Kirponos, commander-in-chief of the Kiev military district. Stalin refuses to allow this. In the north, the forces of the Reich coming from Norway arrive at the banks of River Neva and cut the railroad connecting Murmansk with Leningrad. The Russian Baltic Fleet loses its only supply base. RAF aircraft carry out a fierce bombing raid against Berlin. This is the 51st attack suffered by the German capital. In addition, Douglas A-20 Havoc planes, built in America, strike the German airdromes from northern Holland to southern Brittany in France. In North Africa, Italian bombers target Sidi Barrani, Egypt, and Tobruk, Libya. The German aviation attacks the surroundings of the Suez Canal. In the Far East, a contingent of British Bristol Blenheim arrives at Singapore to join the Malay Air Force. Monday, September 8th. In the German-Russian War, the Luftwaffe completely controls the Soviet airspace. The panzers of Army Group North have taken Schlisselburg, 30 kilometers away from Leningrad. The inhabitants of the city have built around it large anti-tank defenses. The Admiral and Regent of Hungary, Miklos von Horthy, meets with Hitler in the Rostenburg headquarters, Poland. Horthy requests the Führer to withdraw the Hungarian troops from the front as their involvement in the war contravenes parliamentary decisions. Stalin, fearful that the ethnic minorities living in Russia might join the armies of the Reich, orders the deportation of more than 600,000 of them living in the region surrounding River Volga. RAF aircraft bomb Berlin. In the Far East, Ho Chi Minh sets up the Viet Minh, or the Front for the Liberation of Vietnam, and at the same time organizes a guerrilla army led by General Vo Nguyen Giap. In the Battle of the Atlantic, German submarines attack convoy SC-44 and sink 6 merchant ships and a corvette. Tuesday, September 9th. Wilhelm Ritter von Lieb prepares the assault of the city of Leningrad. Army Group North has been joined by some units of the Blue Division, formed by Spanish volunteers. After swearing an oath to Adolf Hitler, these volunteers, most of them members of the Falange Party, represent Spain's support of the fight against the Bolsheviks. Franco is convinced that once Germany achieves complete victory, Hitler will reward him for his contribution by ceding him Gibraltar, French Morocco, and Oran, Algeria, and its Spanish-speaking hinterland. The continuous artillery and aviation bombardments endured by the population of Leningrad are aggravated by the problem of having to feed 3 million people. General Georgy Zhukov, in charge of the troops in the city, orders that to retaliate against German fire, the ships Maxim Gorky, October Revolution, and Marat open fire against the German positions. In the naval war in the North Atlantic, a convoy heading to Great Britain is attacked by a U-boat Wolfpack, which sinks 8 freighters. The Canadian corvettes Chambly and Moose Jaw destroy the U-501, captained by Commander Hugo Forster. Wednesday, September 10th. Hitler travels with Admiral Horthy, Hungary's regent, from Rastenburg to the city of Malbork in East Prussia to visit the Gothic castle of the town, considered to be one of the most impressive in Europe. In Russia, Army Group North batters Leningrad unyielding. Army Group Center prepares the plans to attack Moscow. The Stavka, High Command of the Red Army, orders that all forces in the capital get ready to fight back. In Army Group South, the tanks of General Heinz Guderian, located to the east of Kiev, reach Konotop in northern Ukraine, in the Sumy Oblast. Stalin allows Mikhail Kirponos, commander of the military district of Kiev, and his troops to move back to River Desna. Meanwhile, von Rundstedt gives the order for the attack against Crimea to start. In Oslo, Norway, the Germans introduce martial law as a response to the different workers' protests that have been taking place. In Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia, the government issues a decree annulling the rights of more than 130 Jews. In Iran, Middle East, Shah Reza Pahlavi, who is a Germanophile, orders his troops to stop fighting and abdicates in favor of his son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Thursday, September 11th. In the Soviet Union, the armored units of Army Group South are completing their pincer maneuver over Kiev. Marshal Budeny, aware of the intentions of the Germans, is forced to keep his troops in the city, following Stalin's orders of defending it no matter what happens. The tank columns, commanded by Paul von Kleist and Heinz Guderian, after taking over Konotop, are preparing to move into the Ukrainian city. Budeny and Commissar Nikita Khrushchev request Stalin once more to sanction a general retreat from Kiev. The communist dictator responds that he will not allow the city to be abandoned and urges them to look for a way in which to defend it. Later, Stalin dismisses Semyon Budeny and substitutes him with Semyon Timoshenko, who is put in charge of the southeastern front. In the north, the city of Leningrad is desperate. Its inhabitants begin to die of cold and starvation, while the German panzers position themselves on the Duderhof uplands, from where they control the city. In the United States, President Roosevelt declares that the American ships have orders of shooting first and asking later, so as to ensure that the American national waters will be protected. In the Battle of the Atlantic, the Royal Navy destroyers Leamington and Veteran that are escorting convoy SC-42 sink the U-207 of Commander C. Fritz Meyer. Friday, September 12th. Hitler puts a check on the intentions of General Hans Georg Reinhardt, head of the 3rd Panzer Army of Army Group North, who plans to take the city of Leningrad after having waged fierce combats with the Russian forces. The Führer orders that the blockade be upheld to starve its citizens. The city holds some of the most important arms industries in the Soviet Union. The first snows begin to fall, and Hitler prefers to transfer some of the troops from the north to the Moscow area. In the south, the panzers of Kleist and Guderian converge at Rovno, 130 kilometers away from Kiev. General Eugen Ritter von Schobert dies in a plane crash at Berislav in southern Ukraine. First Kiev, then Moscow. That's the news brought to Stalin by Leopold Trepper, a Soviet agent based in Paris. In Norway, the government of Vidkun Quisling bans youth associations and presses them to join the National Samling party.